Hello, Team Rhino. Welcome, everyone. For those of you that are here with us this evening, thank you so much for taking time away from your family to be here. For those of you that are catching the recording, if you have any questions after all said and done, please reach up to your upline and or someone that you know that was at the launch to get any and all questions answered if we do not answer them here with you tonight. Purpose of this is to discuss everything for those of us that made it to a launch. For those of you that don't even know what that means, it's okay. We were in 70 different plus cities all over the US and Canada yesterday. They launched from 10 to 1 all over in 70 different cities, which I thought was really cool that they did. They allow people to travel to safe, close distances and not feel like everyone had to take, a flight into another country in order to see what was new for the year. So not only was it just about the products, for most of you, if you have not seen the launch, go on to the Online Wellness Shopping Club because Tanya and Seville did a really, really great job of breaking down what the new products were that we launched for 2019. And there are some really, really exciting, great new items. I think I'm going to speak for myself on this, while being at launch, I took away so much more on the business side of things and the stories and how much the products and the business have impacted so many lives that I kind of set the product side of it away. So watching Tanya and Seville go live tonight, I really realized that we have some really, really great stuff. So I'm going to share with all of you as much as I can to help you on the business side of things, not just the product side, but also give you a little bit of insight as to what we were afforded for the products as well. And for those of you that are on here with me this evening, please, it's not just me talking. So step in and share if there's something coming along. Okay, so I just want you guys to know throughout the 3-hour convention, what they did was, it was really neat. They had people come on, and what they did was they had them come in and they had them say, dearly newly enrolled me. And so essentially what it was, let's say I've been with the company for 10 years, and I know what my family's financial, mental, emotional goals are, you know what I'm saying, for the next 10 years. And let's say we've accomplished all of those. So what these people did was they got on screen, and it would be like me enrolling, just like I did on September 13th of 2018, but now it'd be like September of 2028. And it would be like, dearly newly enrolled me. I'm going to cry. If I would have known what this opportunity was going to do for our family, and if I would have known that it was going to take us completely out of debt, if I would have known that it would have brought my husband out of having to work 3 jobs, if I would have known it would have allowed my children to go to an extra AAA hockey tournament this weekend to travel to New York because he got an opportunity of a lifetime and we were able to afford it. If I would have known, and what they did was they broke down what this company has done for their families for the last 10 years and all the things that it has afforded their families. And they talked about everything from it saved their marriage, it saved their homes, it saved their significant others from getting out of alcoholism and drug addictions and the things that this opportunity brought to these families. And they did this throughout the entire 3 hours. And I can tell you from my point of view, I cannot wait to take these goals that I have set for these next 90 days, but then again, continue to set goals and set goals and set goals and look back on September of 2018 and say, dearly new enrolled Katie Anderson, I'm so glad you took this leap of faith because it changed your family's everything in this way for the last 10 years. And so it was so impactful, and I thought that was really cool. And they opened it up like that, and then they did that every like 20 to 30 minutes with 3 new leaders throughout the company, or even people that just were like D4s and D5s, and what has that meant for their families. It was amazing. The other thing that I can truly say to all of you is this was a huge, huge opening, eye-opening thing for me, because it was never about the money. Never once did they talk about the money. We had #1 income earner, Jeff Miller in the building with us. They brought all of the executive leaders up. They recognized them, but never once did they say, oh, Jeff Miller, who's been with the company for 21 years and has made now 23 million and made over, almost $500,000 last month with this company. He's shattering records. Never once was it ever about that. It was always about how he fell in love with a lotion And he fell in love with and shared it with all of his friends and family. And that's how he grew his empire. And it was so, so impactful. And so it really brought it down to like a really great, this is a forever thing. And so they talked about when they got through that section of it, they then went into and they talked about this is a marathon. This is not a sprint. This is a generational wealth for you and your families, and this is for your children for generations to come. They said these Melaleuca checks are going to come for generations. So please do not come into this company and treat it as if it is a 2-3 month, 2-year sprint going to make millions, and then you're going to check out. This is where we want your children to get your Melaleuca checks for life. And I was like, yes, like that's fantastic. They pressed upon the total peak performance pack. Incredible. Truly, truly, truly. I mean, over and over and over, and told stories upon stories, and people who had been in comas and come out of and started to use it and starting to walk again. And you guys, they really focused on the products and how they have changed lives. And it was story after story after story after story. So please do not hold yourself back from sharing the incredible product lines that we have, because a lot of people, what we learned is that they come in because they fall in love with a product and they end up sharing it with a person here and sharing with the person here, and next thing you know, they're like, wow, my products are now free because I've brought in 2-3 people. Wow, I'm now paying for this. And one of the ladies got on, and what she had done since the day she made the decision to get a check, she said, even if it was just $50 or just if it covered my, and she wrote in her journal every month, what did this $50 this month pay for? And she's like, I got my hair done. This month I got a massage. This month I paid for skates. This month. And so for the last, 8-9 years, she's been writing every month, what does that Melaleuca check mean to her and her family? And she had pages, and they put it up and they showed what does that tiny little bit of money mean to their families, until she was like, I'm paying the mortgage, and now I'm paying this, and now I'm paying this. And I thought, how cool is that? And that's one thing Jeff talked to us about as well, you guys. He said when he started in December of 1996, his first ever check, he called 8 of his friends and he said, you have to join. You have to do this with me. Just buy your groceries. I don't know exactly what it entails. I just am starting this. My company's going under. I need your help. And he said I had 8 people sign up, and he goes, I got my first $97 check. And he said it was the most powerful tool I have ever used in 22 years. And he said, because when I wrote my list of 120 people that I wanted to work with for the rest of my career, he goes, every single one I went to, and I said, hey, I got 8 people shopping. I made $97. And he goes, that's all I use. And he goes, so don't discredit your very first check. Don't discredit that if you've brought in 10 people and you've made $300 because you've made that initial bonus, you need to share that with people. You need to let them know, like, hey, I just brought in 8 people that are shopping at my online shopping center and I made $300. And they're like, oh, I can do that. And he goes, and every single one of my friends said, oh, I can make $100 and bring a couple of people on board. And he goes, and it just snowballed from there. And he goes, because I used a $97 check, and that's all. And so that was really cool. Know that Melaleuca brings in 100,000 new members every single month, and it's growing. Crazy, right? And so that was really fun. They are very big on valuing the clean environment. Our CEO is extremely, extremely into preserving the environment, and what does that look like for the long term and the long run, and all these people tossing their toxins out into the landfills or into the oceans or whatever that may be. He's like, they never go away. He's like, they never, we never lose that. And so he talked about all of our cleaning supplies are 100% biodegradable. And he said that was his main thing when he started this, was he wanted everything to be so much better for the environment. And he knew when he started the company that the products had to be really, really, really good, because never in 60 years had any company ever been able to be the manufacturer plus the store. And so until Melaleuca came along and they got this concept into fruition, They were the first ones ever to maintain the entire process from the beginning to the end. And he said he never in a million years imagined 30 years ago that Amazon was going to come along and do the exact same thing and skip out on all the department stores. He's like, he never thought it would ever going to happen. He just knew in his mind it was the only way in his business mind that it made sense to do it that way. So he's like, we got to give it a shot. We just got to go for it and see what happens. And he said, and now that's the way that everyone's going. And so he's like, that was pretty cool. This was really cool. Poison Control gets over 7,000 calls a day. Poison Control does on chemicals, cleaning supplies, you name it, right? Small children, animals, whatever, and having toxins and stuff. And he said, we have sold over hundreds of millions of bottles of our cleaning products, and never one time has our insurance company ever had to pay $1 out to someone being hurt or like taken in toxins. And he's like, and we've had children, like we've gotten calls, like children have swallowed our chemical products and stuff. He's like, never once have we been sued, hurt, injured, had a major claim, or paid out $1 through our insurance company because of our chemical products. And I thought that is extremely powerful. I was like, that's pretty crazy. He said there is over 60,000 orders every single day, and it just keeps growing. He said that they talked about the new products, which I'm not going to get into a lot of just because Seville and Tanya just did that. Make sure that you know that they now have a video that we can share with our friends and family for the Peak Performance and the Renew Lotion. This is a huge deal. It's peakperformancepack.com. So for me, I know I have 2 girlfriends that want to know everything about it before they start it. They want to know everything that's in it, you name it, whatever. And so I will absolutely send them this video, peakperformancepack.com. And then they came out with a new vitamin B. This is what I thought was pretty awesome. Jeff talked to us a lot about this at the end of the day too. Just to make sure that every single person that you put down as a contact on your contact list, it's not just a name. It's someone that you truly can help. And a lot of the stories that they came on stage with and a lot of the stories that they talked about were people that were like, oh my gosh, I had them on my contact list, but they told me no, so I just crossed them off. And Jeff's like, don't ever cross them off. Never. And he's like, you can put a star by it. You can say, you know, like Sienna said, she was just saying, they said no on this date. And then they said no again on this date. And then a few months later, they said no on this date. And Jeff said his original list of 120 people that he had 22 years ago, he said, I never crossed them off. And I continued to make connections with them. And I never let them go. And he said, every single one of those 120 are in his Melaleuca group. Every single one of them. And he said, so never, ever, ever cross them off. He said, because whether it's the product or the opportunity, everyone needs what we have. Let's see. We talked about the Melaleuca check and what it's covering each month and making a list. I thought that was pretty cool. Next thing they came out with is the Renew Lotion. Now they've added the lavender. So it's renewlotion.com. That's the little video that you can send to friends when they want to learn more about the lotion. Renewlotion.com. There is a Facebook page called Melaleuca Enhancing Lives. It's a Facebook page. You have to go in, you have to put in there that you're a preferred customer and or business builder, your rank, they'll ask you a few questions, but make sure that you add yourself to that Facebook page because they are doing fun contests, they're doing surprises, they're doing product specials and sales, and it's just a really cool page for you as a builder or, you know, customer, product consumer to win fun stuff and join in on the fun contests and stuff. And then also on Instagram, there are 2 Instagram pages. One is a Melaleuca Instagram account, and the other one is a Say Bella Instagram account. And you can go on and make sure you like both of those because, again, they're doing giveaways and prizes. And right now they're doing 30% off for the dry shampoo. And so they'll give you codes on all of these pages. If you sign up or you like them on Instagram and Facebook, they'll give you codes on certain weeks. It'll be different sales on certain items. Okay, the shopping app. Is there anyone that's on here right now that doesn't know what the shopping app is and or didn't see it in the live? Tanya and Seville did go over it. I'm just going to cover it real quick briefly. Just know that before we had a Melaleuca app that you paid for, and you could like, you can still have that, and you can go through and you can get all the presentations, all the slides, all the new stuff. Here, I'll show you what it looks like so you know. Okay, so this one up here, I don't know, can you see that? That one right there, that's the Melaleuca app that has all the slides and stuff. Well, this little guy down here is now, oh my goodness, sorry guys. This one is what the Melaleuca app looks like. If you go into your back office and you open that from your phone, if you're on an iPhone, it'll just pop up on the bottom. You just click it and you can add it to your phone. If you are on an Android, when you go into your back office, there'll be 3 little dots in the upper right-hand corner. Click on the 3 dots and then add, and it'll say, do you want to add this to your phone, to your apps? And you click on it and it'll auto-populate on your phone.
It'll say add to home screen.
Huh?
It'll say add to home screen.
Yes, thank you.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And that allows you guys to shop from your phones. Before, we weren't able to just like put stuff in our cart. So that way, if you're out and about and you want to just get in, add something to your cart before you get to, you know, adding up to 35 points or whatever the case may be, you can now shop from your phones, which is a huge deal, you guys, for your customers. I find a lot of time with my customers, they're like, oh my gosh, Katie, when I get home from work tonight or when I can get on the computer, will you help me, or will you help me take a look at this? So now I'm just going to have them like auto-populate it, have it on their phones, and that way they can just do it from anywhere and everywhere, okay? It'll just make it a lot easier for them. Okay, next, let's see. They talked about your, they had a couple of girls that got on. And at the time, they were a director and not quite yet a director. And they had made a promise themselves for the Partner Up Challenge. And the one girl's like, okay, let's get serious about this. What are we going to do? And she said, she's like, okay, let's get serious. She's like, I'm going to get 2. And she said, like, today? And she goes, no, month of January, I'm going to get 2. And she goes, okay. She said, that's when I had to make a decision with my accountability partner. And I also had to get a little bit of tough love, and I had to let her know. 2 people, it might help you to maintain a little bit for your organization. 2 to 4, you're going to maintain. She's like, if you get 4 to 6, you're going to grow. Your organization is going to grow that month. She said, if you get 6 to 8 or more, your organization is going to explode. So we're going to go for 8. And she's like, for like the first month or for the whole 90 days? And she goes, let's just focus on 1 month. And she's like, okay, we're going to go for 8 for the first month. She got 30 in 90 days, and 6 of them went to executive went to director, excuse me, and she went to executive director in 90 days. And she wasn't even a director. It's all about making a decision and realizing what this can do to impact your families. And when we sat down with Jeff, Jeff said, I promise you, if you give this a good go, if you're willing to put the time and energy into this for 1 year, it will change your life. I promise you. And we were like, okay. So we're just focusing on this 90-day accountability challenge. And Jeff is truly sitting in the room with us, and he's telling us, I tell my people, if you'll give me 1 year, if you'll give me 1 year and you will work this business, I know it's not easy. I know you're working full time. I know you have kids. I know you have sports. I get it. Give me 1 year. It will change your life. And he's like, I'm not saying you have to quit your job. I'm not saying you have to stop going, whatever. And he's like, but I promise you it will make life a lot easier in 1 year from now. So I thought that was really cool. One of the ladies got on, and she said where her mind shift changed was when she realized that she started to try enough of the products. And she's like, oh my gosh, if you have lungs and eyeballs, Melaleuca is for you. I just want you to know this. And she goes, and I started to tell every single person I talked to, okay, well, you have eyeballs and you got lungs, so you need what I have. And they'd be like, oh, come on. And she'd be like, just let me talk to you about it. Just let me share with you. She's like, and I just started making coffee dates. She's like, you got lungs, you got eyeballs, we're good. We got this. And she goes, and she goes, that's all I kept telling people. And she goes, and it just went from there. She said people need the company and the opportunity just as much as they need the products. So again, don't be afraid to not talk about the products, but please don't be afraid to talk about the opportunity as well, because there's a lot of people out there, you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. People may look like they have it all. They might look like they have it all together. They might look like they're traveling and they're living the life, but you don't know truly what's happening financially and or mentally, emotionally behind those doors. So they got into a lot of, don't be afraid to ask people. Don't be afraid to offer it up. And if they're like, oh, I'm not interested, that's okay. Maybe bring it up in a few months later. Just don't take them off your list. This is one thing that I thought was really, really awesome because Jeff constantly, verified this, but he's like, what we have here is very noble. We're very honorable about it. You have to shift your mindset that this isn't a scary place, that this is a safe home, because a lot of us come from a place that's not a safe home. And I think that it's messing with a lot of our minds. And he sat down with all of us and he said, you guys, this is a really, really safe home. And he's like, and you need to know that if you talk to your mom or your dad or your aunts or your uncles or your cousins, and they say, hey, I would love to support you, whatever that may mean. Yes, Leah, PTSD, it's real. It is. There's a lot of people stuck in that mentality. I get it. Just know that what we are here, and Jeff validated a lot. So I thought that was a really good, they continue to say, there's a reason why you do not hear about Melaleuca, because there's no negative press about it. Most companies that are out there, people have heard of it, either because they've been in it, they are using the products already, or because there's bad news and people are talking. In this industry, nobody's talking negatively about our company. So please know that you have a safe home and you have a safe place and a safe thing to talk about. And when you bring it up to other people, be proud of it. Be really, really proud of what we have here, because I can promise you, in that room of, how many people do you guys think were in Minneapolis? Guess.
About 100, 150.
150 people. Besides our team, because we just started and we're super, super excited, those people in that room had no idea what they had.
Not to cut you off, but at the very beginning, they had said, the announcer was like, okay, all the directors in the room stand up, and we all clap for them. You guys, how many was there? Maybe 15, 10 directors that stood up.
Yeah.
Then it was director 2, and the co's were up front with Jeff, and then Tanya and our crew are right here. And a lot of us are directors and above that were there too. And so there's one, and we all stand up, and we were like people were probably, why are you guys so loud? But we're like, woo! And then director 2 stand up, and we're like all cheering loud, and there was like 10 of us, but we were the loudest group in there. But it was such an aha moment, you guys, exactly tapping into what Katie said, because number one, we're talking Minneapolis, Minnesota, huge city. And there was less than 150 people there. There was less than 10 directors. And if they're not directors, guys, it was less of director 2s, director 3s, director 4, director 5, right? And then executive directors up there, there was probably 10 from senior directors up to like the big ranks, maybe 10 to 12, I think there was. Not many, right? And we're talking 33 years with this company. It's because exactly what Katie said, and Jeff said it to us over and over again. People have no idea how big of a gold pot that we have here with Melaleuca. They have no idea. He said a majority of that room has no idea of the pot of gold that we have with Melaleuca.
And they truly maintain such as like a very calm, cool, collected, slow build that most of us just really aren't used to. And he's like, and that's okay. You can do that here. You can truly just do that here, and just one person at a time. And he's like, and that's how they've built this company into Leah, zero hype. There was so much no hype that the biggest, I would say, story that they truly generated from all of it was the lady that went from D4 to executive director. That was their biggest, she has conquered this company in 2.5 years. And Jeff's like, they have no clue how great they have it here.
When we talked to Jeff afterwards too, he talked about how there wasn't any hype in the room for the launch because we're business professionals. And that really stuck with me because I'm only now, because of the previous company, used to hype and dancing and, you do good, you feel good, all that stuff, whatever. So that really hit home to me when he said that for us.
It's so awesome. Yes, Sally says less than 100 people in Milwaukee. I know, you guys. It's amazing. Okay, so this was another thing that I wrote down that it was a really big nugget for me was a lady came on and she said that her husband was in pharmaceutical sales. So I'm thinking like obviously me and my husband, because my husband does sales in the aerospace industry, right? And she walked it through and she broke it down as to what her husband does versus what she does. And she said, we're no different. And she said, people would come to me my first year in the company and they'd be like, oh, what do you do? And she'd be like, I'm a stay-at-home mom. And she goes, and now I've completely reverted. And she said, once I understood that my job and working Melaleuca was just as important as my husband doing pharmaceutical sales, she said my entire outlook on my business and treating it like a business completely took off. And she said, so now when people ask what I do, she says, I'm in education and advertising for an online wellness store. And they're like, oh, like, well, what is it? And she's like, well, I'd love to share it with you sometime. Do you want to go grab coffee or do you want to do lunch or whatever? And then she's like, I sit down and I speak about it in a professional manner of my job is just as important as my husband, who's making 6 figures and more in pharmaceutical sales. And she said, because guess what? My husband, he's capped. He can't go beyond his boss who brought him into the company and the person that recruited him. And she goes, and now what? Guess what? She's like, in the last decade, she's like, now I've just surpassed him, not only in income and you name it. And she said, but for the first year, I was so in like, oh, I'm a stay-at-home mom. And she's like, but I finally took pride in the fact that I have ownership in this. And she's like, and I built it like a business. And she's like, and that's why now I'm making 6 figures plus. And I thought that was really cool. Let's see.
Katie, that girl also said, don't be weird, like Tanya says.
Yes. She's constantly, just don't be weird. Guys, just don't be normal people. Don't be weird. It was cute. They talked a lot about when it comes to the accountability partner up challenge, all of you, please sign up. It is free. You're just adding to one person. You don't have to have more than one accountability partner like some of us are. We've just chosen that. And I can tell you personally, I'm glad I have, because a lot of you bring out different attributes that are going to help me in my 90-day journey. And if that's what you need, do that. Take, Leah's organizational skills and someone else's energy and someone else's recruiting and someone else's, whatever that may look like for you, whatever that accountability looks like for what you need for your business, please tap into that person. Please do not feel like, oh my gosh, that's not my sponsor or that's not someone I really know, whatever it may be. If you respect that person and what it is that they're doing in their business, as long as they are not at the same stage as you. Please, you can help those that are below you that you have sponsored, but always look for an accountability partner also that is above you, that's willing to help you get to the stage that you want to be at. And I hope that makes sense. Are we good? Okay. Because they really stressed upon it. And I walked out of there thinking, okay, good. I'm glad I have her for this. And I'm glad I have her for this. Oh, and I need him for this. You know what I'm saying? And I think that it's going to be a really good thing. Because the one thing you guys, they talked about this all the time. This company is truly incredible. And what they talked about was, when it comes to the accountability challenge, it's not because the person that you're being accountable to is going to be like, oh my gosh, you didn't hit your 10 reach outs this week. What is wrong with you? No, it's because the first person that you're going to give up on when it comes to anything in life is yourself. So if you don't have someone to say, hey, Sally, okay, you didn't get your 10 this week. How many did you get? Okay, next week, let's go for this next one. Sally, there's nothing to register when it comes to who your partners are. So you just sign up for the challenge, and then we will place you with who your partner is going to be and help you to stay accountable and stuff like that. So, but there's nowhere to register where it says who your person is. It's just you and your own journey. That good? Okay. Okay, so let's see. We talked about the accountability challenge like crazy. Go back to the people that have come on as your customers and offer them the opportunity. I have a lot of people I have to do this with, a lot. And the reason for it is because the business, just because you think, oh, it's not for you, doesn't mean it's essentially not for you or not for them. Don't make that decision for them, and don't be worried about getting out and having that conversation. The other thing that I'm going to use that Jeff said that worked really well for him was he would pick someone. He'd be like, okay, oh my gosh, okay, Leah. Leah, hey, okay, girl, here's the deal. I know you know that I'm now with Melaleuca. I know you know that I got this thing going and that you're seeing, you know, all this stuff on social media. Honestly, it's going good. It's really going good, and I'm loving it. However, I need someone to run with, and I want you to run with me. I want you to run this business with me. I want you to do this with me because I love you, I respect you as a businesswoman, and I know that you could kill this opportunity. Will you just come and just take a look and just see what this is about? And if they're like, okay, well, let me take a look, send them to the overview or walk them through yourselves, whatever they may look like. But let that person know, I thought of you because of this, and I don't want you to just try the products because I know you have kids and you need to get the toxins out of your home. I thought of you because I want you to be my running partner. And that's something that I've never tried before. And I thought, how awesome is that? If my best friend called me and was like, hey, I'm starting this journey and I'm doing great, but right now I have 30 customers. That's all I got. I got 30 customers. They're coming back every month. It's great. They're reordering. I need someone to run a business with, and I want you to run this business with me. And you better believe I'm going to be using this. So I just try it. Just pick someone that you love and you admire, you think the world of, and you think that they would be willing to go out and just be like, let's just link arms and let's just try this. Let's do this, right? So Jeff said that's one of his biggest thing, and people are like, all right, just, are you going to teach me what to do? And you're like, yes, of course I will. Let's go. Let's do this. And again, he said, be all in for 1 year. Leah, be authentic, and then you don't have to worry about what people think. Love it. Love it, love it. Okay, so they talked about the new FiberWise that came out, the new ProFlex that came out. One thing I did write down that you guys, this is important, not just like on a product side, but just like for you personally and health-wise, if that's one of your resolutions or goals or whatever, however you want to say it for the year, know that higher protein is going to help you to get to your goals a lot quicker in life, in anything, weight loss, building muscle, workout, recovery, whatever the case may be. And the new products that they have launched are really, really good for these avenues. And people always say, well, how much protein do I need? I don't even know what that means. So for the average person, know that you need 0.4 grams per pound. So take how much you weigh and take it times 0.4. That's about how much protein you need in a day. If you're extremely physically active, bump it up to 0.8. Okay, and then so they said, like, basically for someone who's 220 pounds, they need about 220 grams a day, whatever that may look like for you, depending on your physical activity. But I think that's a really big deal, because if you look at that and you break that down, you will realize you're not getting nearly as much protein each and every day that you need. And the protein supplement is a really, really great avenue for you to take a look into. The best part about it is that the new one that they just launched, the difference between the old one is that it had a ton of carbs in it. So even though people were taking it and maybe seeing more muscle or more lean or whatever the case may be, some people like me are like, I'm gaining weight. And it's because you're taking a lot more carbs that you weren't used to taking in. So now they've cut the carbs down to 2 grams and that cut the sugars to 2 grams. So it's a really, really big deal. Leah, you probably can talk way more on all of this, but okay, we're good. All right. So yes, take a look at the Elevate protein shake and make sure you're getting enough protein in your diet. It really will change you physically. Really, I promise. And they talked about the dry shampoo. Super excited.
Can I jump in real quick?
Yes, please.
I just got a message from one of my gals, and the app, are you able to share your screen and help? Because I think some are maybe getting a little confused with, there is a $9.99 app where you can get extra leadership and stuff like that. And that is the incorrect one. So you cannot, the big thing is, do not go to, like for iPhones, do not go to your Apple store. Do not go to the app store, because that's where you will find that one app that's $9.99. This app is absolutely free. It does, but you guys, the leadership one looks exactly like that too. So that's what's confusing. But you guys, you have to go to your Melaleuca.com, and literally, like, on our phone, I wish I would have snapped the pictures so we could have showed them.
Tanya posted it. She posted all of it in our team.
Yeah,
that's right.
I tagged everybody. Okay, so I'll retag you, Hillary, too. But yeah, just whoever's listening to this, just remember it's free. Don't pay the $9.99 one is good. I have that one too, but that one's free. So just yeah. So
yes,
sorry.
and I'm going to share my screen right now because I want to show you guys our team is truly ahead of the entire company when it comes to the marketplace, when it comes to the online shopping, when it comes to the which products link. We're doing everything that they truly just rolled out yesterday. And the whole company's going crazy in the room about all this stuff. And we're like, I've been using these tools for 90 days now. So Jeff and Seville and Tanya have been doing a really good job of keeping us up to date. But I am going to share my screen because the one thing that's really cool about the which products and what has changed. Let's see if this, let's see.
While she's looking that up, part of the which products are you using, you get a report or something back of what they chose, things that they use. So it's electronic and you can do it on a screen and then there's a report sent back to you.
Can you guys see the which products and services do you use?
No, it just says settings, pro account.
Okay. Yes, thank you, Sally. That's exactly what I was going to get into. Perfect. Now can you see which products and services to use? Yes? Okay. So up at the top, this is a new feature. If you click share this page and you type in an email and I were to say Sam and Leah, at gmail.com and send it to her, it would say, hello, I thought you might be interested in checking this out. Let's touch base after you complete the form. This is not what I would say to someone, by the way. I would change this memo to when we talked on the phone today and I talked to you about the products, take a look at this link and do this real quick. It's a quick 2-second survey, 2-minute survey, and let me know what you think. The best part about it is when they open it up and they take the survey and they fill it out, it's going to email you back their results. It's awesome. And not only that, but it's going to show them obviously what their results are and breaking it down into 35-point purchases and stuff like that. So for any of you that haven't seen this before, go in here, take it yourself, click on all the stuff that you use on a monthly basis. And then at the bottom, what it will do is it will post just for you personally the products that you and your family need from Melaleuca because you're already buying them from Target or Walmart or whatever the case may be. And the best part is that it breaks it down into what is the item called, what is it, how many points is it, and then you get an overall points products at the bottom for how much you're already spending in products. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I know Leah's in heaven right now. This is like right up her alley. I know. So fun. So that's the new feature. So please send the email. Do not do the candid email and just like spam your friends and family. Make sure you've had a conversation. Say, hey, I'm going to send you a quick link. And then will you take 2 minutes and take the survey just so we can kind of see if this opportunity is worth you spending the $1 for the year membership. I mean, it's kind of crazy, but it is what it is. And then once they take it, it will auto-populate an email back to you. The best part, you guys, is once they get their results, at the bottom, it will say if you're interested in purchasing any of these products, it'll add your information, your name, your phone number, and your link to your back office. They'll click on it, and it will take them to a shopping cart, and they'll go directly under your name. Super cool. So people can now sign up on their phones, on their own time, and it'll auto-populate into them joining your team. It's pretty awesome. Okay. Let's see, marketplace. Jeff did a big video on the marketplace and how important it was. Most of you know how important. I'm just going to touch on it for those of you that might not been engaged, especially through the holidays, because I know it's madness. But we have over 670 stores that we have access to, and it is really something that's kind of really revolutionizing this company, because it's taking them from just an online shopping center and having stuff be delivered to their homes to them being able to have access to the everything and everyday things that they already are using at other stores and that they already love. And a lot of people, you guys, when it comes to MLMs, whatever the case may be, they're like, I want to support you, I want to be there for you, but I'm not willing to give up my Target run, or I'm not willing to stop buying stuff on eBay or my athletic gear, whatever the case may be. And you're like, I can help save you money, or I can help get you free Melaleuca products if you want to take a look at our marketplace. There's just some really, really great added benefits to this. And so when Jeff was talking about it, you guys, on his behalf and in his reports, it was pretty incredible. He said just last month, He made over 5,000 points in volume off of just the marketplace. If you guys know anything about our promotion structure, when it comes down to it, if you're getting 5,000 extra points a month, that is jumping 2 ranks in our company. That's how impressive this thing can grow and it can build. And I'm going to tell you my own story, because last month, when I was a D3, I ended with like 4,994 points or something along those lines. But because of the marketplace, I got like 122 points off the marketplace. It put me over 5,000 points, and I got an extra $1,000 bonus for going D4 off of the marketplace points. It's a huge deal. And it might be like so small and significant right now, but if I wouldn't have had that, I would have never promoted, right? I know, Sally's like, it's a big deal. So use your marketplace, teach your friends and family to use the marketplace, and you're going to see it on the back end side, because you are going to get a percentage of that every single month, and those points add up for your organizational volume, you guys. That is where it's a huge, huge deal, because in Melaleuca, for those of you that might not, or you're just joining, you're just starting, you're going to have your own personal points that you are building and you're making. But in order to promote in our company, you have to have an overall percentage or overall set of points for each and every level you go from director and beyond. And so just know that those points add up. You get paid on those as a percentage every single month, and they count towards your organizational volume for promotions. So that's for this marketplace. And when Jeff said, he's like, I had 5,000 last month. I'm like, that's 2 promotions. That's insane. So you can imagine if you had one person underneath you building that, that's pretty cool. They got into the LifeLock. They talked about how every 2 seconds in the entire world, someone has their identity stolen, and how important it is to protect you and your family. They talked about the home security system and all the benefits of it. And I sat back and I was like, dang, I have Vivint, and we have for years now. And I was like, as soon as that puppy's up, I'm going to Melaleuca, because we get 50% off as being preferred customers. And it has everything that my other system has and more, to be honest, thermostats and front, the cameras and door locks and stuff. But it's $29.95 a month for all of us who are preferred members and builders. And that's half. I'm paying $60 a month right now. So that's pretty cool. And then know that if people purchase it underneath you, again, you get a percentage of that commission. So it just keeps adding and adding. Every time this company adds a bonus, or you want to go into the HSA programs, or you want to do the Visa credit cards, whatever that may look like, as your organization starts to do those things as well, you get a percentage of that every single month. So just know they're added bonuses. Okay, along the lines for the Visa Melaleuca credit card, first and foremost, I am absolutely against negative debt. I have worked very, very hard for my husband and I to get out of our negative debt. We still, to this day, are working on it because of a prior past company that we were with. Everyone gets it. So we all have our reasons in life, right? However, if you are the type of person that can get a Melaleuca credit card for free with 0% interest, as well as getting the perks and the benefits and free Melaleuca product, and you can pay it each month, do it. If you cannot, and you do not trust yourself, don't do it. Don't add another thing into your home and into your lives and your family's life. But if you can, and you can be strict about that $65 to $70 purchase every single month and putting on that card, the first time you do, you get $100 free in Melaleuca product. That's awesome. And just so you know, if you use your card between January 16th and February 28th, you get into a drawing for, they're calling like maybe it's like a Christmas retrieval, like, anybody know what they call it? Christmas bonus something? Everyone's looking at me like, I know. Beth, no, she'll get it. Yeah. Anyway, they're doing a huge sweepstakes. Yeah, Christmas recovery. Thank you, Susan. Christmas recovery bonus sweepstakes. So anyone who orders and uses their cards, they are doing 10,000, 5,000, a bunch of 1,000, and a ton of $500 drawings for people to get free money. So if you have the card, get in, use it for this month's or next month's purchase. You've already done this month's, that's fine. And at least get yourself into the drawing, because that's pretty awesome. Hopefully people on our team get to win. That's pretty awesome. Last but not least, they talked about May 2nd through the 4th is the convention. Again, you guys, you know me, I'm very huge advocate when it comes to events and getting your belief and your mindset right. If you did not make it to launch yesterday, and or if you did and it didn't help enough, get to convention. Get your butts in that room and see what this company truly is all about, because I promise you, it is unlike anything you have ever been a part of. I promise you. And this is only coming from someone that's been like almost 2 years now. For those of you, and I know Sienna, 7 years, and Miss Sally, how many years, Sally?
75.
Well, it was 1975 when I was in Mary Kay. 1975. And yes, I won the ticket to convention in the November promotion, and I have a hotel room already.
Yes.
So, and even I was talking to Leah, even back right after I started, I was looking at convention, and she said, well, don't buy your ticket quite yet.
That's awesome.
Don't let Tanya listen to this recording. No, I'm just kidding.
I knew she was going to get a free one.
Yeah, right? I know. Well, congratulations, Sally.
Thank you. She said I'd get the $99, so
yes.
But I got it for free. But that was the big carrot for me. I wanted that ticket. So
awesome. It's so awesome. Oh gosh. I do have to mention this. I don't think that many people know, because I think the room was pretty shocked. So our peak performance, you guys, for those of you that know, we've had our previous studies. They've done 2 studies on our peak performance packs, and they've come out with these incredible findings, right? Well, they are now in the middle of a 3rd study. And so this I thought was super cool. They're doing it in Germany. They've made it through the first 30 days, and the results are awesome. So the doctor got on and he talked about what he's seen only in 30 days. And he's like, I think our 90 days are going to blow it out of the water. It was amazing. So yes, they hit really, really hard on that. Just know that in the next 60, 90 days, they're going to be coming out with the results from a 3rd study from this pack. And it just continues to blow the minds of all nutritionists, doctors. I mean, you name it. It's amazing.
It's the Peak Performance Heart Health Study one.
Yes. Go ahead.
And they said, you guys, these doctors, because like they were talking about the LDL and the epithelium, which is like the lining of our vessels and everything. And it, like some of that stuff might be over our head and whatnot. I'm a nurse by trade. So all of this, like our arteries, guys, that's when heart attacks happen, when we have plaque and our arteries start and our veins start to, get constricted because of all of the plaque and everything that's built up over the years, right? And so these doctors, honestly, on the nursing side, I'm like, okay, I wrote the doctors' names down and whatnot. I want to dig a little bit more into them because they are like the top of the line doctors and specialists and scientists. And like Katie said, within 30 days, the results were insane, to the point where even blood pressure was down like 5.7%, you guys. One of my dear friends had blood pressures of 210 over like 110. I'm like, girl, are you having a heart attack or what? Like, I mean, and we're talking like a 50-year-old here, to the point where like these peak performance are decreasing so much that these doctors said at the end, he said, I wrote it, these doctors have never seen results to this magnitude before. And this is just 30 days with this new study. And I wanted to add too, with Frank, our CEO, he got on there and he was talking, he's over 70 years old. We all know he's like past the rowing, the world record rowing and all of this stuff. And he's like, I am not a fit person. I am not. I take peak performance. I've actually been taking them longer than anybody ever in the history of Melaleuca, because he started them first. And he said, I work out 2 times a week. He's like, I am not the most fit guy. And he said, but you know what? The peak performance has helped him. And he said he went in and had a coronary CT scan. You guys, going back to what I was telling you about, like our arteries constricting, and that's when heart attacks happen. And the sadder thing is that the younger, as the generations go, as the years go by, these heart attacks are happening at a younger age. And he said he went in for his coronary CT scan, and Jeff reiterated this at the post meeting. and it's like a $70 study or a scan, and the plaque buildup with a 70-year-old, like in an artery, is at least not half, but I would say like 1/4 to 1/2, and that's just average for a 70-year-old with plaque buildup. He had none, no plaque buildup, nothing. There was nothing seen. And then he talked about, Frank, the CEO, talked about his mom took the Peak Performance pack when they first launched with them back in 33 years ago. And in the generation of their family, all of her siblings, I think she had like 8 siblings or something, correct me if I'm wrong, but 7 of them died from anywhere from 65 to like 70 years old. His mother lived till she was like 88 years old. And he said, I'm not like throwing out things or what, like, but he's like, look at this. Nobody else took Peak Performance, but his mom, and as the years continue to go by, then, the more studies can come out and so forth. I mean, it's not medically proven, but I mean, look at it. I mean, it's incredible. So yeah, I just want to add to that. Sorry, Katie, I didn't mean to jump on you.
No, I'm glad you did. No, because I was going to start getting into all the numbers, and I'm like, they don't want to hear all that. So yes, just know it's really, really good for you. Okay, so let's see. I just took a ton of notes. It's crazy. Can I please have those of you that were at convention, I would love for you to share what was your biggest takeaway, and or just whatever of that. I mean, it's 3 hours. When it went by, it felt like it was like 30 minutes. But so for those of you that were there, if you will please, I'm going to start with use case, Sally. Go ahead, sweetheart. Just let us know. You want someone else to go first?
I was unmuting.
Okay, perfect.
For me, it was the story, and I don't remember her name, and I wasn't taking notes, I was just listening, but the story of how she started, and she invited her neighbors, and all 10 of them said no, but she just kept going because she knew that she wanted to do this and, down the road. So, yeah, there's going to be people that are going to say no, and there's going to be the timing that's not right. But what if it is? What if I hadn't turned on Facebook October 25th and saw Seville streaming, and I reached out to Leah, which Leah and I don't think we'd ever talked. Maybe we'd met past in a convention in a different company at one time, but it was the right time for me. So that was my big takeaway.
I love it, Sally. Yes, I love it. She just didn't stop. Yes. Let's see who
Katie,
else. Hillary. Oh, go ahead, Will.
For me, it was really cool being in the actual convention, listening to the CEO and just how caring and real the guy was. But the most impactful thing for me was getting to Tanya's about 20 minutes earlier or so, and just talking to Jeff Miller, just one-on-one, the most approachable, the most sincere person I have met that has $20 million. And just how helpful and, how he really wants to help us and how sold he is on this company. I like that it's a company that's real, that doesn't live on hype and all that other crap that we were taught before. So that's what really impressed me and really sold me on, this is the company that I'm going to retire with, and until the day I die, I will be with them. So that's what really impressed me.
Great job, Will, getting yourself in that room. It was a huge deal and once in a lifetime moment. So good job to you. Sienna, you want to go?
Okay, I just highlighted a few things. Sorry, I lost you guys and I had to come back in. I'm just gonna throw just a few things because I know we've gone over a lot of stuff, but you guys, I want to share with you that in the midst, I'm gonna kind of what I learned at the actual launch, and then afterwards, things that stuck out to me, and I'm just gonna throw them out. But are you brave enough to stop thinking of yourself when you pick up the phone and you talk to somebody? Because you guys, every single time they spoke, it wasn't about Here's her check for $250,000. It was those two ladies that Kitty was talking about earlier. They met at their daughter's dance, and she's like, or at their dance class. I'm so glad that she reached out and said hello, because 6 years later, fast forward, and they became the best of friends, and Melaleuca truly changed their lives. And so we don't have borders with Melaleuca. We have no borders with Melaleuca. You guys, prior to me going on Saturday, I used to think to myself, okay, I've got to just share with them that we've got this great online shopping club and these products are amazing, whatever. It's totally different. Jeff said to us, stop selling Melaleuca and sell yourself. I know it's mind-blowing, you guys, but it was such an aha moment for me. People aren't going to join you because, that's why I think they say we're not that typical MLM company, because Jeff's like, if you're just blasting people to be sending them to this online shopping club, you're doing it all wrong. Number one, you need to build relationship. His biggest check is $463,000. He said, we all went around and talked about our goals. He said, I'm not focused on money anymore. He's like, what more? He wasn't prideful, but he's like, what more do I need? Like, I am so blessed. I don't need anything. I want to help families. And that was such a trigger for me because, you guys, I had been doing it all wrong. I would call and share about how great it is. And I'll be honest with you. Yes, Carla, it's all about relationships. And one of my gals on our league, she had a customer yesterday, and I'm like, we were talking about it, and she's like, oh, I just love the Renew lotion and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, do I share the business? Do I share the business? Do I share the business? You guys, that's me. I was just like, oh, do I talk about money? Because to me, I'm so fearful to talk about money because how bad it was so blasted in our previous company that I was really fearful of it. And that's what Jeff shared with us. He said his $97 check was so big. And you guys, my first check was a car payment for us. That is huge. And so I just transitioned to the call with the gal the other day. And I said, you know what? I don't know if you've heard of network marketing at all, but listen, I know you already are so excited about the products. I just have to share something with you. It's just like this Kayla, her name's Kayla, just like Kayla shared with you. That's all I'm doing is sharing with people. And my first month, I don't know about you, but $500 to $1,000 of extra money is so awesome. It's huge for a family. And my first month, I shared with 8 people that were able to take their toxins out of their house and transition, which they're already doing this anyway. And I made $364. And the gal was like, what are you serious? I already sent a message to my girlfriend that I got this traveling lotion and my hands are amazing. And I was like, that's all we're doing, you guys. That's all we're doing. It's so simple. And I had made it so complicated. So I don't know if that helps you, but it was a huge aha moment for me that I was focusing on the wrong things. And Jeff had said, what does your default future look like? Think about it. He said, think about it. He's like, how many of you guys are 30-ish years old? Well, majority of us were 30-ish years old. He's like, you have 40 years left to technically, have a good life. What would a good life look like? And we're all like 70, 75, whatever. 40 years. And he said, you guys, I have lived the best life because of Melaleuca. I've been able to be there with my kids. I've been able to do everything with my kids. What does yours look like? And so what does your default future look like? I don't know about you guys, with my husband sitting here. Our default future, if I continued on this path without Melaleuca, would be broke, sad, sitting in front of TV. You know what I mean? And Jeff is like, we just went on a cruise and we just went here and we just went, that's life, and we all are capable of doing it. And so I guess he said, don't be all in for 1 to 2 months. Give it a full year of sacrifice. 1 full year. And that's not like we were last year, you guys, or the year before. If you were on the previous journey where we pretty much ate, breathed, slept. Okay, did we sleep? Not really sure. But you guys get what I'm saying. You still get family. It's called balance, right? But give it a full year. Don't give up on you. Don't give up on you. And you guys, our CEO said, I want to celebrate all of you guys. I want to celebrate the ones that are doing, sharing this with tons of people, and even you that has not even shared it with anybody yet, and even the ones that have one customer. We celebrate you because it's one customer at a time, and celebrate each of those customers. We think if we're not here, and that's what he said, do not compare yourself to who's here. It's not about the rah, shish kebab or whose big check you can have. Our CEO was telling this to us. It's about one customer at a time. So congratulations to you who have brought on one customer. And if you've not brought on one customer yet, you will, because I believe that you will be able to do that. Like, that's what he was telling us. It was so cool. Basically, my last golden nugget for you guys, and I mean, many of us were in tears, and the stories and the breakthroughs that took place. Jeff, who has made $22 million, sat around the room with all of us, you guys. And he literally said to us, and I'm going to tell you, it was a huge breakthrough for me because I came from a very, very wealthy family. And to me, wealth was always the biggest thing. You can have the best of everything and keeping up with the Joneses, right? Kind of life. He literally looked at all of us and he said, you know what? He said, this is what happens with the rich. He says, they're rich. They have everything. They have the beautiful houses. They have the high ceilings. They have the nice clothes. They have everything. But he said, you want to know what the rich is missing? And he went around to all of us and we're like, life, excitement, blah, blah, blah. And we're like saying all of these things. And he said, nope, the rich, they're missing relationships. We crave relationships. He said, this company has it all. He said, I have a great life. I'm able to be there for all of my kids. He said, I have relationships. I don't even focus on money. I just want to build relationships and dig into them and continue to have relationships. And he said, the financial means, he said, it's proven. Come on, you guys. It's this simple. And so I just want to say to you guys that we have it all with Melaleuca. And that's what he said. Just trust it. He's like, you have everything here. And it was just really humbling to hear from a $22 million earner that his main focus, like we all went around and said goals, and his main goal for the rest of his time with Melaleuca is building relationships. It's pretty cool.
Thank you, Miss Sienna. That was awesome. Thank you, sweetheart. Carla, do you want to share, honey?
Well, I think you guys pretty much said everything that I had kind of written down. The one thing that Jeff said, like right at the beginning, after the launch and we were at Tanya's, he said when he first, he was in sales before, and he said what he saw in Melaleuca was just, he saw a chance for a better life. And that just really hit home to me. And so, I don't know, I just like that. But also, Sienna, when you're talking about we have 40 years left of life or whatever to create our story, I was thinking about that when he was saying that. And Katie and I have our 20-year class reunion coming up, and it doesn't seem like we graduated 20 years ago. And although we've done lots of things, it just seems like that went so fast. So, we know that the next 20 and that the next 40 are going to go equally fast. And so this is our time. And, Jeff said that you only have to work really, really hard one time, and then the rest it gets easier. So I don't know, that all just stuck out to me. So, and then out of the whole day, the last thing that I wrote in my notebook was just have belief in yourself. So that was just kind of cool that was the very last thing I wrote. So.
Awesome. Again, great job getting there, sweetheart, and putting yourself in that environment for all of you that were able to go. Who else? Beth? launch? Oh, no. I didn't know if you went to Fargo. Sorry. Anyone else on here? I know
Hillary did, but I think she was on like working, so I think she was off.
Okay. Does anybody, please, do you have any questions? Actually, you know what? I'm going to stop the recording so that it's getting kind of long for everyone who's just trying to tune in, and then we'll do a Q&A here as well. But thank you, everyone, so much for tuning in. Share this with your people in your group and your organization, so that way they can get caught up on what 2019 is looking like and help them to get signed up for the Partner Challenge. All right. Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.